Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dom, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a full glam makeup routine look. It's more of a makeup look, not a routine, but I am so happy with how my makeup turned out. It looks so pretty. I feel like this is the prettiest my makeup has looked in a very long time, so I'm definitely going to be implementing these steps in my everyday routine. I just feel so pretty, so glamorous, and I feel like this is the perfect look if you just want to feel extra, you got some extra time in your hands to do a little bit more. I think this will be a perfect look for you. You don't have to use the palettes or any of the products that I use. You can use what you have and just use the techniques to, spice up your makeup look. So yeah, if you guys like this sort of content, please give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and let me know what you think at the end of the video in the comment section below. And let's get into it.
Alrighty, you guys, so I ended up switching to voiceover because the audio on my phone has been really bad whenever I've been trying to record, but I already primed my skin with the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer, and then I'm going in with my NARS foundation. It is like the luminous light reflecting foundation. I don't really know, but mine's in the shade Deep 1 Manao, and so that is what I'm using. And then I'm using a Sonia Kashuk sponge dampened to apply all over my face. So I guess we could use this time to catch up on life because, oh my gosh, life has been kicking my booty recently. So yes, this was just kind of like a little bit of makeup therapy. Just get really glam, get really pretty, feel cute, all of that sort of thing. My dad ended up getting really sick about 2 weeks ago. He had a type of heart attack. He's at home now and he's getting better and he's being treated, and just life has just been throwing a lot of curveballs at me lately. So this was just a really relaxing thing to do for myself and just really play in makeup and just like feel pretty, feel good. I haven't really done my makeup in this manner in quite a very long time. Like, I've worn makeup and stuff like that, but never like a extremely full glam look. I have not done that in such a very long time. So this was super fun for me. So I'm going in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I'm just putting that underneath my eyes. And as you can see, that's just putting it on there. And then I'm going to blend that out with my sponge. But yeah, so life has been a little crazy. Work has been good, just working a ton between working, taking care of my dad, things of that nature. It's been a little bananas. So I haven't had quite as much time as I would like to have, but here we are. I have a few ideas for video content during the month of October, kind of like Halloween-esque related content, sort of, kind of. I don't really celebrate Halloween, but I have a few makeup looks that I feel like would kind of like fit this time of year in mind, so that's exciting. So I have a few ideas for that. All right, now I'm gonna go in with a little bit more concealer on my chin and a little bit on my forehead. I usually skip this step, but I feel like because I wanted to go real glam today, I just felt like I had to. Did I need to? Probably not. Do I think it did a ton of difference? Just a little bit, but nothing too crazy. So now I'm going to use my bronzer, Contoury, my little e.l.f. bronzer, putty bronzer in the shade Sunkissed, and I am just going to apply that on my face. Let me know you guys' favorite YouTubers to watch, because I want to watch new content creators and like smaller channels and things of that nature, because I don't know, I just feel like they're realer and I feel like they have amazing ideas, and I feel like they put a lot more hard work, I would say, and effort into their videos. Not that larger creators don't, but I don't know, I feel like the smaller channels, they have more innovative videos and things of that nature because they're trying to grow their channel, if that makes sense. But anyway, So I'm just applying this all over my face, as you can see, and I typically do not do this step if I'm just doing my normal makeup routine. So yeah, but I think this is an amazing step to do. And I contoured my nose a little bit. I never do that. So a bunch of stuff that I just never really do. And then my lip contour. And then my chinny chin. And then I'm actually taking my contour up into my brows a little bit. Okay, then I'm taking a little brush and I'm just putting a little bit of concealer down the bridge of my nose. I think it ended up taking me like 45 minutes to do this too, just so I can give you guys like a little bit of a time, like I guess like a reference about how long this took me to do. So yeah, I'm just gonna blend that out with my sponge, and I'm blending the sides of my cheeks in an upward motion, and then for my forehead and like my jawline, I'm pushing everything, like for my forehead, I'm pushing that up into my hairline. For the jawline, I ended up bringing it down towards my neck to kind of contour it a little bit more. I just love the shade because I feel like it definitely helps to shape and sculpt my face, but it doesn't look too crazy. I think they have an even darker shade than the one that I have, but I feel like that would be way too dark for me and that I wouldn't like it. So I think this is the perfect shade, and it's not too warm, but it's not too cool. So I really like this shade. And this is the only like cream contour bronzer situation that I have in my collection right now, and I've been enjoying it thoroughly when I do use it. So now I'm going in with my sponge and just touching up that nose contour, just kind of blending everything out, making sure nothing looks harsh or anything of that nature. Okay, now I'm gonna get my Milk makeup setting powder, and I'm gonna use another sponge. I'm using the same sponge, but this is a dry version of this sponge. I have two different ones, if that makes sense. I said that so weirdly. I usually use the Beauty Blender little powder puff. That is amazing. I absolutely love that. I really want to try the e.l.f. one because e.l.f. just released one, and look at all that powder. Craziness. There went probably like $5. But anyway, e.l.f. has this little powder puff that I really want to try, that I think I will fall in love with, because the Beauty Blender one is like $20. It's like $18 to $20, and it's just like a little much, a little much for a powder puff. So I'm excited to try the e.l.f. one. I haven't gotten my hands on it yet, but yes. So I'm just setting all of my makeup. I'm gonna look probably a little mostly ghostly for the majority of this video until I get to the very end into bronzer and blush and things of that nature. But I like to put a lot of powder on because my skin is extremely oily. My natural oils come out very, very quickly. And this is a luminous foundation, so it's going to be more glowy, more dewy, a lot quicker. And plus, I use a setting spray at the end, so it melts everything together, and I always have a little bit of a dew, so when I use a little extra powder, it kind of makes my skin like the perfect, I don't know, finish once I finish applying everything. So for eyeshadow primer, I'm using the MAC, what is that stuff called? It's the one in the pot, the one that they're famous for, the soft ochre shade. I've been using this for a while, and I feel like it's a lot easier for me to use my fingers because it helps my body to like my body heat helps it to like blend out smoother. Like I've tried using it with a brush, I just feel like it takes too long to blend out, or I've tried using like with my sponge and I don't know, it's just a lot easier with my finger, and yeah, it works. And I'm the only one who uses this, so I'm fine with dipping my finger in a vat of eyeshadow primer. It doesn't bother me any, but yes. So I'm just smoothing all of that out, making sure everything is nice and smooth so that our eyeshadow application goes as seamless as we can get it. Is it going to be perfect? Probably not, but you know, hey, I like it. Alright, so I'm going to be using the Lunar Beauty, what is this called? I think it is the Nude Prism palette. Yes, the Nude Prism palette. So I'm going to go in with that shade Bloom For You, which is on the very bottom row, and I'm just going to use a BK Beauty brush. I don't have my brushes nearby, but it's kind of like a flat brush, and I'm just going to pack the color on the inner corner area, and then on the outer half as well, because my goal is to do more of a halo eye, or like a spotlight eye, whatever you want to call it. But I have pretty slanted eyes, so I don't really get a super rounded eye look very often, so that just doesn't really work for me. So I try to do more so of a halo eye effect with my slanted eyes, if that makes sense. Just focusing the shimmer on the very center point, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, so as you can see, I'm just going and packing that in there. It doesn't have to be super perfect. I'm just trying to keep a little bit of a gap in between. It's okay if it's not perfect, or if you don't have the perfect amount of space. You can always clean it up with a Q-tip or just apply the shimmer right over top. It's just more so like the shape of the shimmer, of how you apply it, that's going to matter, and how it looks at the end. So you don't have to be super scared to get in there and work with that shade. I wanted this color to be super dark, so that is why I went in straight with that darker color, because that's what I wanted. I didn't want a super light look. I feel like a lot of the times my eye looks are lighter than I like, and I like some depth in my eyeshadow. Like especially when I'm using dark colors like fall time, I want some depth, I want some richness to it. And this shade is perfect, and I'm so glad that he incorporated it in this palette, because it really adds so much to it, and I feel like it's the perfect palette for anyone. This palette has been out for quite some time now, and I thoroughly enjoy it. So good job, Manny. Okay, so now I'm just going back and forth. As you can see, the shape is starting to come together, just adding where I need to, blending where I need to. I kind of go back and forth, just kind of getting things where I'm comfortable with them. And yeah, it's pretty much the thing, you know? So the shade that I was using in like those last couple clips is the shade Sakura. I don't know if I'm saying that properly, but it's just pretty much like this. It's more of a mauve toned pink, and I just applied that closer up into the brow bone area to kind of merge the deeper, like to merge like the gap a little bit on the eye, just so it doesn't look so stark or contrasty, if that makes sense. So that is just what I'm doing here. And then I'm just like going back in with that deeper shade, just touch everything up. So just going back and forth in there, just playing with everything. It's pretty much just playing with everything until you're happy with how it looks. So you don't have to do this part, but I did. You can go in more, you can do less, you can skip this step altogether, but I think that it helps to soften up the blend a little bit more. Okay, so now I was struggling picking eyeshadows, and I was just swatching different ones, as you can see, that I thought were really pretty. And all of his shimmers are amazing. I love the shimmers. This is like, oh my gosh, this palette is so beautiful, and I would repurchase this in a heartbeat. I think if you love neutrals, like in pinky neutrals, mauvey tones, like things of that nature, this is going to be for you. I remember this released close to the time that the Patrick Ta palette came out. I love my Patrick Ta palette, but I love these mattes so much. I love the shimmer so much, and I think it's absolutely stunning. So for shimmer, I use this shade Star-Crossed first, which was the very last one in the palette, I believe. I sprayed it with a little bit of setting spray, and then I'm just going in that space that we left blank, and I'm just putting on the shadow and just kind of like wiggling it on there back and forth to kind of blend it out and make it so it doesn't look just like a strip of a shimmery shade, pretty much. So yeah. So now I'm gonna do the other side. And I ended up going in with like a couple of shades over top of this one. I think I ended up using the shade Laura, which is the third shimmer in the second row, and then I used a little bit of So Icy on top of that, but we're getting there. We haven't gotten to that point quite yet. Alright, so there we go. We're dipping into that shade Laura now. I don't know. I have no idea which shade I'm picking up right now. But anyway, so then we're going to apply that. I need to spray it again. I usually use NYX Glitter Primer, which is the best like glitter primer that I've tried so far. I really want to try out some more, but I've been using NYX Glitter Primer honestly since 2016. So it's my favorite thing ever, honestly, truly, since sliced bread. I know that ColourPop has like an eyeshadow primer, but I don't know if it works in the same way that the NYX Glitter Primer does. I don't think it does. I think it's more so almost reminiscent of like the Urban Decay ones, so I don't think it's got like that tacky base that the NYX one has. So yeah, anyway, but moving on. So now I'm just adding a little bit of the shade So Icy right in the center, just to really draw the most attention to the eyes. And then I'm gonna take a brush again, and I'm gonna go in with that shade Bloom for You, and I'm just going to touch up those darker areas, and I'm just kind of bring them in a little bit over top of the shimmer, just to kind of help everything blend and meld together a little bit better. I always feel like this step, just makes it look so much better. But yeah, anyway. Alright, so now I'm going to use the shade So Icy on the inner corner, which is just like a very beautiful white shade. It's just white, it's not pink, it's not cool, like it's just a white, which is amazing. So now I'm going to use a NYX eyeliner. It's just like a brown, warm tone brown, and I'm going to use this to put on my lash line and on the top and the bottom. Fun times, fun times. You can skip this step if you want. You can use black eyeliner if you want. You can do whatever you want. Make this look customizable to you. But this is what I did, and I don't know, I think it turned out pretty. So yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to use a brush, a small little brush, and I'm going to try to blend that out. This one doesn't smudge the best, like this eyeliner doesn't. Well, at least when I was using this brush with it. I think if I used a different brush, it would smudge a little bit better, but anyway. And then I dipped into that shade that we used, that deep shade that we used on the lid throughout the entire look, and I used that to help smudge the eyeshadow as well. Alright, so now I got lashes on and brows are done. These are the Lily lashes in the shade Christen, style Christen. One of these feels a little wonky. Alright, so there's the eyes. So pretty. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so now let's move on. What am I looking for? No idea. No idea. Oh, looking for lipsticks. Okay. So I'm digging in my little Adidas bag. No, my Nike bag. I don't know why I said Adidas. I think because Adidas does have a bag similar to this one. But anyway. So I'm pulling out literally all of my lip glosses and lipsticks that I hoard in my purse. Because I'm a lip junkie and I hoard them all in my purse. And I wear none of them. So I don't know why they're in there. But we're going to use a NYX lip liner. But first, moisturize your lips. Because your lips only look as good if they're moisturized, okay? So yeah, so I put a little bit of Vaseline Lip Therapy on there, trying to decide a lip combo that I want to wear. So I'm gonna use a NYX lip liner. I don't remember the shade, but it's one of their Line Out Loud shades, whatever. And then I'm gonna use that. And then let's see here. So I'm gonna fill in my lips a bit, shape them. Well, not shape them because my lips are already shapely, but define them with the pencil. And then that is Makeup by Mario's brownish pink. Love it so much. I'll put that on my lips, and then I want to use a little bit of a lighter lip gloss on the center over top of this to really just like bring this look together. So I'm using Mademoiselle by NYX in their Butter Gloss. This is one of like the best lip glosses ever. I've loved NYX glosses like for a very long time. Then I'm going to use my Jaclyn Hill blush and bronzer duo. I'm actually going to use the blush and the bronzer today. I'm using this thickums of a brush. This is the ColourPop F28 brush, I believe. I think it reminds me of this really expensive Tom Ford brush that I remember Jaclyn Hill using in one of her videos like some years ago, like years and years and years ago. But yeah, so this is what this brush reminds me of, and like I go ham with the bronzer because I feel like it just makes me look so pretty. I think I look so good. And then a little on the nose. I'm going to take a smaller brush and I'm going to use the blush in this palette. This blush can get intense real quick, so I recommend using just a light hand. And then I just tap a couple times. Even me tapping a couple times, like it was almost a little too much for the look. So I recommend using an extremely light hand with her blushes, because especially this particular formula, because it is so very pigmented and it's beautiful, but it's so pigmented. So now for highlight, I'm going to use the Glam Light Mimosa highlighter from their Martini collection that launched, was that a year ago? Almost, or something like that? Almost a year ago, whatevs. And I'm just going to use this little brush, this little fan brush from Bling Brushes. And yeah, that's the look, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's so pretty.
That's the look. That is the finished look, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. My eyes are watering out, but this is the look, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was such a fun one to create for you guys, so I will see you guys in the very, very next one. And yeah, don't forget to like this video. Let me know what you thought down in the comment section below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more of my face.